for the GGC magazine, which is a focus on health and wellbeing, but it's also going to be pushed out to the community. So it's going to be a right good chat on all things laser hair removal.
But when it comes to hair itself, I used to years ago bring folk in for hair about 4 weekly on their face, but now we kickstart them for 3 treatments 3 weeks apart, because you've got to remember as well, you can't pluck.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that have got facial hair will pluck constantly.
Yes.
If the sun's in the mirror, you know
all
it's
the time.
the sun hits you and you're in the car and you're like, I know people have got tweezers like secreted everywhere. So that my first plea to our new clients is to stop plucking. So because of that, those say 30 hairs, 50 hairs that they've plucked in a week, by the end of 3 weeks, they've got an extra 150 follicles. So they initially think, dear Lord, I've got worse hair than I thought. But when it comes to the laser getting at it, it just means that they're all active and all ready to get nuked. And I prefer using things like nuked or zapped, it's rather than treated, because it's a bit stigmatization. Laura and I both we encourage people to feel as welcome and as open, and just it's one of these things. So there's no stigma, there's no embarrassment, there's no, it's easy for us to say, but that's our striving goal.
I know, well, that's lovely. And shout out to Laura, who works alongside you.
She's an absolute star. She's fantastic. Laura and I bumped into each other when it actually just ended up being me that was here, and Laura came to join us about 5 years ago and did all the advanced training, and she is such a good therapist. She is brilliant. She's absolutely fantastic. So,
that's so lovely.
Rate her highly enough.
So what about somebody who is watching this or listening to this, Andrew, and they are thinking about laser hair, and they're thinking, right, so maybe I feel like I've got a mustache and I've got extra growth here. And I think most people know that you're meant to shave before going in for your treatment or the night before. So does that include places like your hair, like your toes? Would that shave everywhere?
Yeah. That's essentially the law. So the reason for that, the difference is, so the likes of IPL, because it's not as effective, it's relying, that's why we can do all skin tones. It's called the Fitzpatrick scale. So essentially it goes up to 6, which is your classic Nigerian skin type that's really, really dark. So we get loads of clients that have got very, very dark skin. We've got a massive collection of lovely people that come from the Asian community as well. So their ancestry will have maybe rooted back there. And I would say the majority of our clients, if they were to have IPL, it would burn their skin, because the energy required from the light to get to the follicle is going to cause burning on their skin surface, which they don't get with laser. So, but yeah, everybody has to. So with IPL, you would normally leave a little bit in the top, so it helps the energy to conduct down into the follicle itself. So you leave a little bit there and it goes. But with us, you can actually see it vaporize. So if somebody hasn't shaved, we actually see the hair explode, and it vaporizes and it melts onto the skin surface. So that in itself can be uncomfortable and it'll stimulate a nerve. So it's best with the laser, because the energy level is so high, to shave it off completely. But at the same time, we've also got, it's a fantastic little, hopefully this will pick it up. There we go. So that in itself is, so this little thing, these screens are amazing, actually. It picks up on everything and nothing. That basically delivers out minus 32 air. So it blows across the skin surface and it cools it down. And then the actual laser wand itself, right, I'll do it in front of me.
There we go, yeah.
So that's a laser one as well. So that basically, the two of them in conjunction allows us to move across and cool the skin as we're actually doing the actual follicle itself.
Okay. So shave the night before. What about pain, expected pain? Because I know that'll be on a lot of ladies' minds.
I think,
and men's minds.
Yeah, I mean, we've got loads of clients that, that some that are also transitioning as well. So we've got a really, really loyal trans following as well. So they are able to come in and get fantastic results. If they have gone on to treatment with the NHS for gender reassignment, they will get a limited amount of sessions on the NHS.
Okay.
The system, I believe, because I'm very biased, is better, so that's me deflecting away from the P word. I would say that it's very uncomfortable in certain areas, so like under your lip, because lip hair, lip skin is very, very thin. If you think about it, it's an erogenous zone essentially. So it's the same with your bikini line as well. So you'll find as you move further in towards the lips, if you're having a Hollywood done, that is very, very gentle, fragile skin. So the nerves are also massively more, for obvious reasons. You get a lot more nerves down there as well. So, but it's so quick. Like a Hollywood takes probably about, you're in and out in 10, 15 minutes. So,
So, and just remind me, because I should know this, but my brain isn't working. Hollywood is everything off.
Yeah.
And
Brazilians,
15 minutes.
we've got a little graph on the website, so we sort of named them after cocktails, like a woo woo but essentially we do a classic. So your classic is where you would maybe do like a centimetre either side of whatever size of pants they want to wear, as long as they're not black pants, because if you wear black pants and you're getting it done, I will put a hole in it. Because the laser will actually put a hole in your best lace pants.
Okay.
Always wear white ones if you're going to come in, and what we do is, if it is a classic, you just keep your underwear on and you would pull it to the side, and then you shave to the shape you want. So it's dead easy, and then we just laser up the area. So that's your sort of classic. Then you've got sort of more your Brazilian strip, and then you've got Hollywood. And then we've got like little moustaches. I did a love heart once. I've never done a lightning bolt, but that's quite extreme. I'll normally, at the moment, there's quite a big trend to have Hollywoods done, but I often say to people, look, you can always have more taken off. If they want a Hollywood, yeah, go for it, but think about it. Don't just come in and think. I'll say to them, well, do you normally shave, everything off first, and see what they feel like for a month first, before they just come in and randomly decide,
take everything away. And is it forever, Andrew? Like, how many treatments would you need to get for it to be forever? Or is that a possibility?
Yeah, it is. I mean, technically, we are not meant to say the word permanent, because if you have a baby, for example, you're going to have a hormone flush, and back to that little baby that has its all its squillions and squillions of potential buds. I like to call them little buds that it can reflush. So if something happens like menopause, you're going to get follicles that weren't there before suddenly sprouting out of nowhere. So we can't legislate for that. Some medications, stress, believe it or not, stress, Laura, will actually change how your hair grows.
So talk to us about that, because you've mentioned this before. Why is that?
It's really, the body itself is like a sort of fine-tuned machine. So when you put anything out of balance, there's something else is going to give somewhere else. So if you're depleting your resources, then your body's not going to be operating optimally. So it's going to flush with adrenaline, it's going to have noradrenaline, you know, it's going to actually have all of these things flushing through. So when you start to flush your body with that fight, flight, or freeze constantly, it has a detrimental effect on other hormonal systems within your body. So that's why essentially stress does have a big part to play in it. But your original question, so you're normally, so after the first session, and going back to when we were talking about those little follicles and the little muscle that's, hey, I'm getting good at that.
You're getting better.
Right on the money. So the little muscle that's there that causes the pimple, what do you think would happen if we took that hair away and the muscle? What would happen to the muscle if the hair wasn't there?
Would it be more sensitive? I don't know. I'm rubbish at these things.
So okay,
You're like, yes, you are.
The little muscle, basically, it's called an erector pili. So basically, all that means is it makes hair stand on end muscle. So if there's no hair to stand on end, the muscle just basically goes. So what that does mean is that you have smooth legs with no pimples.
Oh, really?
So no more chicken legs.
Interesting.
So that is the biggest difference as well. So for underarms, we do a lot of brides as well. And obviously if they're, you know, doing a dance or whatever, they want to wear something sleeveless or strapless. So the shadowing will go. You get certain skin types that will have, it's like a type of hyperpigmentation that will be there. So you'll get discoloration, you know how you'll often see an area. Skin takes normally 28 days for a cell to move from there to there in your skin. So from there to there, it's about 28 days. Skin to remodulate to, there's little things down at the bottom called melanocytes, which basically cause pigment. So when they pass through, that's what causes the tan. So when they aren't being aggravated by shaving and inflammation there, they basically over time start to clear out the skin and they'll fade away naturally. So you'll notice, one, that you have no pimply bits. Your skin feels smoother even after one treatment. So after one treatment, you should start to feel the laser itself will slow the hair growth down. So you'll notice that maybe even after 4 weeks, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I've not shaved, or you're not even aware of it. And two, it feels smoother. And then by the time you've got to maybe 3 sessions, you're already starting to notice it less and less and less. So after 6 sessions, you should be seeing a really dramatic difference. And it can often take between 6 and 12 sessions, essentially. Some people I've seen it happen in 4. It will confound me because it's very unusual, but it's normally the sort of industry benchmark. We'd say 6, but the reality is that it will take more than that. It will take more than that. And that's only because they all grow at different phases. So if they all grew in the anagen phase and we could treat them all in the one go, so if all your hair grew in sync, then we would get them all in the one go, no more hair. But some are like resting, some are ready to shed. So that's it's a process. You've got to go with the body's natural way to do.
Somebody love somebody, want your